The following is produced by 5-Star Productions USA, which is solely responsible for its editorial content and is sponsored in part by a grant from Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care.
Our environment, the basic needs for life on our planet: water, air, and natural resources. Maintaining them allows our children and our children's children to inherit a healthy earth. Imagine oceans without life, air we can't breathe, and food we can't eat. It's a sobering thought. I'm Ed Begley, Jr. Each week, Today's Environment will explore the contributions people are making to clean our water, air, and the land on which we live.
Today, City Council effectively 9,000
reducing air
supermarkets
pollutants by
recycling a milestone
30%.
in
Educational programs.
In the late 19th century, Robert Angus Smith, a British chemist, coined the term acid rain, which pollutes our forests, lakes, and marine life. His research went widely ignored until recently. Let's take a look at a simple household product, baking soda, being used to address this and other not-so-simple problems.
It's a simple, versatile, everyday product. And it's playing a major role in pollution prevention in America today. Its use and disposal does not damage the environment. The product, sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. In 1846, brothers-in-law Dr. Austin Church and John Dwight founded Church & Dwight, the world's largest producer of baking soda. Baking soda quickly became recognized as a versatile chemical which performs a broad range of functions, including cleaning, deodorizing, leavening, and buffering, and gained in consumer popularity under the Arm & Hammer trademark. Church & Dwight has had a long heritage of commitment to environmental concerns. These concerns began in the 19th century. Church & Dwight began packaging Arm & Hammer baking soda in recycled paperboard in 1907. As little as 25 years ago, the Arm & Hammer brand had only 2 consumer products. In 1970, Church & Dwight developed the first national brand of laundry detergent to contain no phosphates. In more recent years, the company's growth has enabled them to research other uses of baking soda and the various ways it can help the environment. Baking soda is now being used as the world's biggest antacid pill, bringing contaminated lakes which have been polluted by acid rain back to life. One lake, after being revived with baking soda, was restocked with trout and restored to its full recreational use. Company researchers also discovered that sodium bicarbonate reacts with the acid gases when injected into the ductwork of a boiler or incinerator. The reaction forms neutral salts which are easily and safely removed. The result of this process, called dry sorbent injection, is a deacidification of the flue gases, which lowers toxic emissions by over 90%. And when a national relic needed a facelift, Church & Dwight assisted with its Armex Blast media for cleaning the delicate internal structure. This system utilizes a water and natural sodium bicarbonate mixture to produce a low abrasion blasting compound. Using baking soda instead of solvents is an environmentally sensible, non-toxic alternative, replacing current methods which pose greater environmental and occupational risks. Church & Dwight's Drinking Water Protection Program is designed to help water treatment authorities meet new EPA guidelines for lead and copper content in drinking water. The bicarbonate corrosion control method increases the pH and the alkalinity in water supplies. Here, baking soda reacts with pipes to create a hardened film, preventing further contamination from pipe and solder corrosion, making water safer to drink. As a part of its mission, Church & Dwight's Specialty Products Division is devoted to developing and providing industry with innovative pollution prevention technologies. Church & Dwight stands as a corporate example that a company can be environmentally conscious in all phases of its operations and still be successful.
Recycling is one of the most important things we can do to reduce solid waste. Americans produce 70% of the world's solid waste, yet only recycle about 11%. On the other hand, Japan recycles 50%. Let's take a look at how recycling is being encouraged so we can recycle more.
Recycling. It's a simple concept and one that is increasing across our country. As more of us recycle, the growing costs associated with material collection has some communities looking for alternatives. One alternative is community drop-off collection systems, which offer limited capacities for recyclables. Supreme Corporation has come up with an answer to efficient, effective community recycling. They recognize the need to supply easy-to-use recycling stations. The Supreme Sort system features an attractive, user-friendly, voluntary recycling station that invites community citizens to participate in recycling programs. It gives the citizens the ability to reduce the costs of recyclable waste and expensive landfills, while at the same time pre-sorting the recycling materials. Sorting recyclables is important because of the difference in the recycling process of aluminum and tin cans, green, brown, and clear glass, cardboard, and newspaper. Mixing these items together increases the cost of the recycling process by making recycling stations sort the materials before shipping. With a little education and commitment, the Supreme Sort recycling system can provide low-cost, efficient, and effective recycling. The system is designed to be user-friendly and manufactured to meet the specific needs of the community, as well as the collector, giving it an attractive and easily accessible outward appearance that helps promote a recycling program in the community. The size and location of each of the 10 collection bins is researched to coincide with established material recycling patterns. This way, the community actually performs over 90% of the sorting when they drop off their pre-sorted materials. Designated bins are set up to handle a number of different materials. The recycling center is placed in a common community area with high visibility and accessibility, like a supermarket, shopping mall, or municipal parking lot. Pre-sorting materials in your home and making sure you prepare them properly is the first step. Next, you bring the materials to your Supreme Sort Center and place them in the designated bins. A specially designed trailer picks up the sorted materials at regular intervals. This trailer has individual salvage hoppers that correlate exactly with the recycling station bins, permitting continued sorting of materials as they are transported to the processing center. The trailer's conveyor slides from bin to bin and allows the easy transferring of sorted recyclables into their designated salvage hopper. The conveyor moves along the entire side of the trailer, swiveling to the other side after it reaches the last bin. The materials are then transported to the Supreme Recycling Storage and Processing Center. The center provides a practical, common-sense approach to sorting recycling materials in high volume and provides a means to process the materials for the final markets in a very cost-effective manner. With the increased publicity on our country's diminishing landfill capacity and the costs associated to expand or replace them, taxpayers are turning to recycling as an environmental necessity. Just one of many actions being taken to reduce, recycle, and reuse, encouraging citizens to participate in a cost-effective recycling program.
Every year in the United States alone, we use 85 million tons of paper. That's 700 pounds of paper per person, and we only recycle 22% of it. Many companies are now turning to extensive recycling programs to increase this percentage. Today's environment visited a place where recycling has become everyone's business.
Corporate America plays an increasingly important role in the protection of our environment. Product containers and packaging are among the major contributors to industrial waste. creating mountains of trash that overload our landfills and pollute our environment. Mary Kay, one of the leading cosmetics companies, is dedicated to the beauty needs of women around the world. They have also taken a leadership position in helping preserve the natural beauty of the world itself. The program involves corporate recycling of office paper and other materials, 100% recyclable and recycled product packaging, and collection of recyclables from home. One of Mary Kay's goals is to use recyclable and recycled paper wherever it can. They started with basic business supplies, including corporate stationery, business cards, and company publications. All of these items are now being printed on recycled paper. And not only that, non-toxic soy-based inks are now used for all in-house printing. In the packaging of beauty supplies, Mary Kay uses a lot of paper. They were the first major cosmetics company to introduce recycled packaging for such an extensive product line, with 90% of their regular line products packaged in recycled and recyclable paperboard. In 1989, Mary Kay began including the SPI recycling code on hair care bottles and skincare packaging. This code helps recyclers identify resins in plastic packages, making recycling more efficient. Not only that, but Mary Kay continues to offer refillable compacts for eyeshadows, cheek colors, pressed powders, and cream foundations. Since the program began, more than 6 million pounds of glass, aluminum, paper, and plastics have been collected from office areas and outdoor recycle collection bins. More than $20,000 from the program's start has been donated to the Dallas Parks Foundation and the Texas Nature Conservancy to help protect natural resources and wildlife sanctuaries. Mary Kay has received many awards for its efforts, including the 1990 Earth Friendly Award and the 1991 Regional EPA Environmental Excellence Award. Mary Kay, a company taking steps to help keep our world beautiful for future generations. From a company that never takes beauty for granted. More than 100 million Americans consider themselves environmental consumers. They look for indications that a product or its container is environmentally friendly, that it contains recycled or recyclable materials. These environmentalists have discovered that the familiar 2-liter bottle is one of the most collectible containers in the food store. Matter of fact, an important trend in America's environmental movement is the significant growth in community programs to collect and recycle used plastic soft drink containers. More than 5,000 communities now collect these used containers, which are made from polyethylene terephthalate, known in the industry as PET. That's up 60% since last year and tenfold since 1989. This plastic is especially suited to the packaging of soft drinks. It's strong and shatterproof, yet clear and lightweight, which means added convenience and safety. The containers are easy to open and reseal, and since PET is a good oxygen barrier, the carbonation doesn't easily escape through it, and the soda stays bubbly longer. As we moved into the 90s, some 250 million pounds of PET containers were being recycled, and that number is predicted to double by the mid-90s. Recycled PET is used in making an array of products including carpeting, fiber-filled comforters and sleeping bags, non-food containers, automobile parts, and industrial strapping. And we are now seeing the closing of the loop, where new plastic beverage containers are made from used recycled bottles. Johnson Controls Incorporated, headquartered in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is the world's largest manufacturer of PET containers used in packaging food and beverages. The company operates 18 plants in the United States and 5 in Europe. It has taken an active role in establishing systems to collect and recycle PET throughout the country and has been honored for its efforts. The company is dedicated to increasing collection of all PET containers and developing processing technology, package design, and end-use markets. In 1990, Johnson Controls took a giant step in its recycling operations with the opening of its own $4 million plastic recycling plant, which is the first plastics recycling plant in the United States operated by a plastic soft drink bottle manufacturer. It features a unique state-of-the-art plastics recycling system that processes more than 140 million used soft drink bottles annually, which adds up to 20 million pounds of PET. The advanced technology of the facility provides a cleaner, higher quality recycled PET than other recycling systems. This makes it usable for high-value applications, including recycled containers for non-food products and high-performance automotive products. To fulfill its social responsibility, an industry must develop a system to efficiently reuse the materials it generates. Johnson Controls is a leader in recognizing and demonstrating that today. Business, the public, and the government must work together with a common goal of protecting our quality of life and the quality of the environment.
It is estimated that in New York City alone, leaks waste 200 million gallons of water each year. This household washer costs about 25 cents and can stop one leaky faucet from wasting 75 to 100 gallons a day. Let's take a look at new technology being used to save water.
Industrial plants use large amounts of water while processing various materials. Much of this water, even though treated, winds up in our lakes and oceans, jeopardizing their fragile ecological balance. One solution to this problem is reusing these vast amounts of water. Sibagagi has implemented such a solution to wastewater at their Toms River plant. They call it the SWEAT Project, short for Standardization Without Effluent at Toms River. Here, Sibagagi blends dyes and conducts environmental and chemical safety testing. What better place to undertake a project that includes pollution prevention, waste minimization, and recycling? Before the SWEAT Project, the Toms River dye blending operation generated an average of 400,000 gallons of wastewater per day as a result of cleaning out their massive dye mixing kettles. SWEAT's main component is a state-of-the-art filtration system implemented in the dye blending process. The system decreased the wastewater flow to an average of 3,500 gallons per day.
There exists a perception that if you work in manufacturing, that you are not concerned with the environment. The truth is that we are all concerned with the air, land, and water that we all share. I consider myself and my colleagues active environmentalists. The SWEAT Project represents a lot of hard work using innovative science and state-of-the-art technology. As environmentalists working in manufacturing, we are making a tremendous difference from within. We are continuously improving all aspects of our operations to optimize the critical balance that must exist between manufacturing the products that society requires and environmental protection.
SWEAT's sophisticated filtration system allows water to pass through its membrane, but holds back the larger particles of dye. Let's look at how the system works during dye blending. Dye to be used in such products as clothing, automobile interiors, paper products, and carpeting is processed and blended in 5,000-gallon mixing kettles. After the blended dye leaves the tank, streams of high-pressure water rinse the tank of dye residue. Now a new colored dye can be mixed. Previously, this water containing some dye was sent to a treatment plant. Now it is piped to a 3,000-gallon collection tank and stored by color. Next, the water is sent through the membrane filtration system, which removes the dye particles. The water can then be reused in the cleaning process, and the separated dye ultimately ends up in the finished dye product. Through the SWEAT process, 99% of the water used in kettle rinsing is reused. The captured dye material that was once part of the wastewater is now recycled back into the final product. The dye captured each year will pay for the investment made in the SWEAT filtration system in a matter of a few years. Sibagagi continues to seek ways to optimize this system with the ultimate goal of reducing the amount of wastewater in their dye blending process to zero. The Center Quality label applied to their products sets a world-class standard in the industry, assuring customers of consistent performance and quality. And to further their environmental contribution, They share what they've learned with other companies. In the fight to save our planet, they consider everyone an ally.
Products manufactured with non-recycled materials create up to 10 times as much pollution in our air, land, and water. Next, Today's Environment takes a look at how recycled paper is being used in product packaging.
The world is in a constant state of growth. From this growth comes an increase in solid waste from industry and the consumer. Consumer recycling is a large part of the solution, but industry must continually find new ways to turn these materials back into functional products, or there will be no place for them to go. Sunoco uses the latest technology to design new ways to reduce the materials that go into packaging, making it more lightweight for industrial and consumer products, like plastic grocery sacks in use today, which contain 30% less material than those produced 10 years ago, and the use of foil membranes to replace metal-topped products. Recycling has played a major role in Sunoco's manufacturing process for over 80 years. Receiving processed waste paper and plastics at its collection facilities, and recycling them for use in a wide variety of packaging that is used, then recycled again. "90% of all Sunoco packaging includes recycled materials, and they continue to develop new ways to reuse what is collected, as in the production of edgeboard, a right-angled protective shipping product made from recovered paper and plastic that could not be recycled until now. Each year, Sunoco recycles more than 1 million tons of recovered paper worldwide from both industrial and consumer sources. And they have managed to reduce the amount of water used to produce a ton of paper in their recycling process from 40,000 to 2,000 gallons. As a pioneer in the recycling of plastic grocery sacks, 9,000 supermarkets are now participating in recycling programs initiated through Sunoco. Extending their commitment further, Sunoco established an in-house program of recycling where employees in more than 800 offices collect paper, envelopes, and publications for recycling. And their forest management program was recognized by the South Carolina Wildlife Federation for its management efforts. With a wide array of products offering recycled and recyclable packaging, consumer choice plays an important part in the future of source reduction and recycling, minimizing the amount of waste we throw away and reducing the need for future landfill space.
At Sunoco, we believe that the only solution to the solid waste problem is going to be a cooperative effort among industry, government, and all citizens.
As a worldwide packaging supplier, Sunoco continues to research and test new techniques, products, services, and applications to better address environmental issues such as source reduction and recycling, and contribute to productive solutions in keeping with their proven past and committed future to the environment.
For people like you and me, it's the little things that add up. For instance, if every American recycled just their Sunday newspaper, 500,000 trees would be saved a week. That's 26 million trees a year. Think about that the next time you're about to throw away a tree. I'm Ed Begley Jr. Join us next week as we continue to search for more environmental solutions on Today's Environment.
This has been a presentation of 5 Star Productions USA. The preceding program was sponsored in part by a grant from Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care.